going on, everybody? Welcome back to TCG Madness, and today we're taking a look at another deck for Altered TCG. Now we're going to be focusing on the Axiom faction, and the first deck up is an updated version of Sierra and Oddball. If you want to take a look at the deck that I previously made before Trial by Frost, there'll be a link down below for that deck in the description box. So with that being said, please do me a big favor, hit the like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget to also that notification bell, so you guys never miss when I drop a video. If you want to pause it right now, take a look at the deck, and comment down below if you like this deck, don't like this deck. Like all videos, I'll be going over the hero itself, all the cards in the deck. We're going to take a look at the stats, and then we'll end the video right there. Now, I do want to address one thing real quick before we get started. A lot of people have been asking me for gameplay. I will hopefully be bringing some gameplay very soon, at least as soon as this market opens up. I mean, we're getting word that it's going to be open to the public very soon. I believe we're going to have a beta test, and then hopefully they'll be able to roll out the full thing. Once the full thing is open, and I'll be able to actually buy cards that I'm missing for all of these decks, I'll be able to use these cards for Board Game Arena. I tried EX Altered. I'm not a fan of it. I think predominantly because this game is played over in the UK. I live in the United States, so I think our time zones aren't matching, because every time I log on, there's like one person playing, or maybe like two people playing, and they're playing against each other, and I can never get a game going. So unfortunately, that's just kind of where we're at. Once this market opens up and I'll be able to actually get all the cards that I'm missing for these decks, I'll be able to actually bring you some gameplay footage using Board Game Arena, which is my preferred choice. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this deck. Kicking it off with the hero first is a Sierra and Oddball. Axiom hero, of course, 2 reserve, 2 landmarks. Pretty staple in case you forgot it. When you play a permanent with a hand cost of 3 or more, you may exhaust me to create a Brass Bug 2/2/2 robot token in target expedition. Keyword right there being permanent. So this deck is going to be all synergized around the permanents that I picked. That's why this deck is called Make It Permanent. With that being said, let's go ahead and go over the characters first. First card up, the Machine and Ice. This is a 1/3 character robot. It's a 5/3/5. When I go to reserve from anywhere, exhaust me. When you play out of your hand, it will go right to the reserve, so you will have to exhaust it. Once, you untap him, he will be available to you. For 3 mana, it's a 5/3/5. It's a pretty good card. It's definitely a good turn 1 play that sets you up for the future. Next up is Foundry Mechanic. This is a 1/1 for a 0/1/1. But I like this quick action right down here, which is why I made the deck. The next permanent you play this turn costs 1 less. We do have some costly permanents that if we can make them cheaper, even better. Next up, Axiom Salvager, 1/2 for a 1/1/1. It does have the keyword though, when you play at a reserve, resupply. Put the top card of your deck in reserve, which is always really nice. Next up, we have 1 copy of Keylon Elemental to 2/2 for a 1/3/3. Put a card from your hand in the reserve. Just 1 copy of this card just because I need to fill out some space, and I did want some better statistics. I was lacking in these 2 zones right here, so I wanted to find something that could give me a little bit of a benefit and can still help me buff up these zones. This was the perfect card to slide in. Cheap, inefficient costing card. Next up, we have Foundry Engineer. It's a 2/2 for a 2/2/1, and then when you play out of your reserve, the next permanent you play this afternoon costs 1 less. So again, helping ourselves by making permanents cost less, which is really good. We have the rare version of Ogun, 2/2 for a 2/1/1. You may pay 2 to create Brass Bug robot tokens in target expedition. Then, robots you control gain a boost. If you remember too, the Machine and Ice is a robot. So pretty good there. So Ogun has some good synergy with the permanents that you will be playing in this deck. Next up, we have the Foundry Armorer, 3/3 for a 2/2/2. When you play it out of your hand or your reserve, create a Brass Bug robot token. So for 3 mana, you're getting realistically, you're getting 4/4/4 across the boards, which is pretty damn good for just 3 mana. Next up, we have Dr. Frankenstein, 4/3 for a 3/3/3. When you play it out of your reserve, you may activate these abilities of target permanents you control. When we get to the permanents, you will see they pretty much all have that, which is fantastic. And from the new set, we have the rare version of Gibble, 6/6 for a 5/5/5. If you control 2 or more permanents, create 2 Brass Bug tokens in target expedition. Otherwise, create only 1. So for 6 mana, you are getting 7/7/7s across the board. No, excuse me, you're getting 9/9/9 across the board, which is even better. If you don't have those, you're just going to only create 1, which is just fine. That's okay. So those are the characters that I put in the deck right there. Let's go ahead and get to the spells. There's not a lot of spells, so we'll get through these pretty quickly. We have Mechanical Training for a 1/2. Activate the abilities of target permanent you control, which is pretty good. Just 1 copy of that is pretty much all you need. I do have 1 copy of Boom. Pretty much just for some, sacrifice a character if you do discard target character or permanent. Just a quick way to just remove some stuff. I do have 1 rare version of Kraken's Wrath. It is a 5/5. Send to reserve up to 4 target characters with a total hand cost of 6 or less. Again, for this deck, you will run into that, you will run into where you pretty much have a lot of your forces spread out. So this is a great way to kind of neutralize some threats, or if you face against another Axiom or Origins deck of yourself. One copy of this one, it pretty much goes good against the token decks. One copy of Avalanche, send to reserve any number target of characters with a total cost of 4 or less in that expedition zone. So that's pretty good there for more removal. And we have 2 copies of Keylon Burst, 3/3, choose one, send to reserve target character with a hand cost of 4 or less, or discard target permanent with a hand cost of 4 or less. Pretty flexible for removal. So those are the spells, not a whole lot going on with the spells. For the permanents though, this is where the deck really is like the bread and butter right here of the whole deck, is all of these permanents. The first permanent up we have is the Ouroboros Lyra Bastion. This is the rare version, so it costs 3. When you play it in your hand or reserve, you have the ability to resupply. If you would resupply instead, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, put one into reserve, and discard the other. So basically, it's like scrying 2, but then we're going to take only one of those and put it into the reserve. This is a pretty good way of just kind of going through your deck if you're missing something important. Like, let's say you just have no Gibble, or you have no Ogun, which is pretty important to your deck, or if you have no permanents. Playing this card right here is going to be really good. It's going to be very beneficial in getting the cards that you want. You're going to take those 2 cards, and you're going to pick and choose which one you want to go to the reserve. The other, you're going to discard. You're going to lose that card, which sucks. But hey, you know what? When you're in a pinch, this is a good card to throw down. And it has good synergy with your hero as well. Next up is, of course, one of the obvious most one that you definitely need in this deck. 3 copies of the rare version of the Brass Bug Hive. 6/6, and this is why we like those cards that basically reduce the cost of the permanents, because if you can get this thing out for like 5, this is even better. When you immediately play it, you're going to create a Brass Bug Robot token, then at noon, you're going to create another Brass Bug token. When a robot joins your expedition, it's going to gain a boost. So this with Ogun, excellent synergy right there. You're definitely going to be set up for success. And of course, it's going to work with your hero. Next up is the Brass Bug Hub. It gains 3 Keylon counters when you play it, and at noon, you may pay 1 and spend 1 of the Keylon counters to create a 2/2/2 Brass Bug Robot token in target expedition. I love that too. We also get to target our Axiom expeditions as well. We get to pick and choose which zone, the hero or the companion. And then last but not least, we have 2 copies of Axiom Reprocessor to 4/4 at noon resupply. So if you're missing something, you just want to easily just get some extra advantage, draw advantage, a quasi draw advantage, this will definitely help you. That's it for the deck right there. All of those permanents will definitely synergize well with your hero. And again, if you can cheat those cards out, like playing this one for 3 or playing this one for 5, that's even better. The other ones you probably don't want to do because you want to make sure that it actually still costs 3 or more, so you can then get your hero to tap and then use the Brass Bugs. Or if you already used that ability, don't worry, then play something, have something cheaper, then boom, you're good to go. There's some good synergy with this deck as well. Of course, I don't think Sierra and Oddball are the best of the Axioms, but this was the starter one, so I do think this deck is pretty mumuch on par, like a C+. It's an okay deck, right? For the stats, you guys can see right here, 24 commons, 15 rares. Of course, no uniques, because I don't have any uniques that can go with this. That's another thing, too, that can definitely help you out. If you have some really good uniques, like a unique O-Gun would definitely be a good choice. For hand costs, you guys can see right here for the hand costs, we're actually pretty solid on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. For the reserve costs, solids on the 2s and 3s, heavies on the 3s. For the attributes, 53 in the 4s, 51 in the mountain, 52 in the ocean. So pretty much base 50s right across the board there. Types, 6 spells, 10 permanents, and 23 characters. That is it for this video, and that is it for the deck. Let me know if you guys like this deck, don't like this deck. If so, what would you change about it? Comment down below. And if you did like this deck, just please, maybe for no other reason, just give it a thumbs up. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. That's going to do it for me. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you guys next time.